you? Yes. A very good evening to each and every one of you. Today we are at Secrets of Living the Full Life, a fearless, unstoppable, limitless, and loving life. Well, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., we have this session dedicated to the students of Management Me School of Confidence who are aspiring leaders. And yes, we have somebody who's dedicated, who's determined, who has actually decided to lead through excellence, and she embodies excellence, persistent effort, and unwavering focus in whatever she does. And that is why she has honed multiple hats, done multiple things in varying fields. This very young and energetic woman, who is also a student of mine. I know her since she was in fifth standard with short hair. And I remember the image that is coming to me of her was a scouts and guides uniform with the belt and the whistle and the scarf. And it was so nice to see her, move around and bring about innovative ideas, whether it is making best out of waste or drawing something or leading the team to success. So she is none other than Deepti Pandit, an amazing director at one of the MNCs. And welcome, Deepti, to Management Me.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this lovely introduction. And of course, whatever I am, lot goes to Biji ma'am, and I'm really lucky to reconnecting my bond with Biji ma'am after I left school, after decades of living school. So I'm happy
Yes,
about
yes.
it. Yeah.
So, whenever I reconnected with you, I felt that bonding so strong, and I realized that there is some connection, and that's very different and very surprising. So I have this very deep connections with quite a lot of people, but recently I'm just learning about past life regression, and now I'm understanding what the connection is. So,
Okay.
so everybody who
Maybe
is,
some connection we all have, right? We cross
yes,
each other's path for some purpose. So that
correct.
could be one of the thing then.
Yeah. So whether it is Dia, Ayan, Suchi, Shobh, Ashwet, Bruce, or even Darsh for that matter, we are all connected even in the last life. So they say that it is, there is a soul group,
Hmm.
and every lifetime they meet each other. So I believe that my dream to inspire 1 billion plus people is completing my karmic debts. So I've only reached 6.5 lakh abhi journey or baki hai. And I'm sure each one of you will lead me to my karmic soul friend.
Of course, you will. All our wishes for that.
Yes. So we will ask Shubh, who's also a student of SOC, to introduce his teammates. Yes, Shubh.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Shubh, and let me introduce to my team. So, the person who is silent, but he speaks, but when he speaks, he hits sixes. जिसमें हर्ष वो है दर्श.
अरे वाह, सुपर, वेलकम दर्श. थैंक यू तो बोलो भाई.
Thank you.
Super.
Nextly, Ayan is a newcomer, but shortly he will become a very good speaker as ourselves, and also he is having a good leadership skill.
Wow, super. Welcome, Aya.
Thank you.
The person with high debating skills and a good leadership skill who could conquer anything with his debate is Ashwet.
Hey, Ashwet. Great. Awesome.
And Shoji is one of our most emerging speaker of our team.
Most emerging speaker of our team. Awesome.
And lastly, we have the absolute leader, teacher, and the jewel of our team, Biji ma'am.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. We also have Dia with us, who's like always has a smile on her face and is ready to face any challenges of life. So, Dia, आज क्या लाया? हम देखेंगे. We also have somebody who's Bruce Almighty to me. That is Bruce here. He's my God and he has wonderful, wonderful vocabulary. So, welcome, Bruce. And who else do we have? Is there anybody remaining? Kriti is also there. She is, taking on tasks very slowly but surely. And she finds it difficult to coordinate at times, but when she listens with rapt attention and she can remember quite a lot. She has a very good memory. That's Kriti. Well, we'll start today's session with Ayan's question. So, Ayan, you can go ahead and shoot your questions to Dipti.
Hello,
Yeah.
Yes, Ayan, we can hear you.
am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
you
you
are.
are.
Okay, so what challenges did you face while becoming a CA?
The first and important challenge which I always felt was the peer pressure, because CA is a very difficult subject, a difficult exam to crack. Okay, and there were a lot of pessimistic attitude towards it. You if you will find almost 80% of the people saying it's very difficult. You will not be able to clear it in first attempt. This will happen, that will happen.
Somebody's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
continue.
so the most important is ignoring that pessimistic attitude and then focusing. So that was a bigger challenge for me. And second thing was that I did my CA post my marriage. So handling the responsibilities at home and then concentrating on the studies and then clearing it, that multitasking was very difficult. But yes, of course, when you are focused, you are able to achieve whatever you have to achieve, right? So that's how it worked. But yes, so these were the two major challenges that I could face in my journey as a CA.
All right.
Hello.
So, Akshara also has a question there. She's asking, what was your first thought? That means when you decided to become a CA, why did you decide to become a CA?
That's a very interesting question. See, I am a per se a creative person, so I used to love paintings and all those things. CA was never on my cards.
Ah,
My father told me that, okay, you're doing commerce, and the topmost education in commerce is CA, which I agreed. And he said that, okay, you become a CA, post that I will allow you to pursue arts as a education. Okay, so that's the second degree you can have, but after you clear your CA. So for me, clearing CA was very important because I wanted to pursue my passion. And that's how I took up a decision of clearing CA as a challenge to my father so that he agrees that I can learn art and pursue that as a career. So that is my story, which I think it's a very rare story because people may have planned their CA journey, which I never did. But yes, of
oh,
course, because I was having some goal, which is to have art as my career, and at the same time satisfying my father. Okay, there was a goal behind it, and that's the reason I was more focused, so that fatapat CA bano and then turn on to the next career. That was how it happened.
but then after doing your CA, did you go to arts?
Not really. I did it now after I
Now.
launched my brand, or it was always there in the back of my mind, but not really. So I did CA, then I start liking it, uh,
Acha.
and so I pursued it as a career, and I got very good opportunities. So I just walked the path, and that's how it happened.
Correct. So, students, I think from what she has said, many times you may get angry at what your parents tell you to do. But unknowingly, that might be the best for you. like how it turned out to be to her. She decided to obey her dad and, take it up. But then maybe somewhere they had that inner wisdom to guide their child to the right path. So many times you might get angry at your parents for telling you to do something which you don't like, but somewhere or the other, they want the best for you, and they have that vision without knowing why, but they know that this is good for you. So I think you should at least give it a try, like how Deepti did. And I'm sure today she must be thanking her parents so
Of
much.
course, yes, yes. I mean, there are no doubts that, this is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Wow, that is superb. So there is another question that Ayan wants to ask related to this. Yes, Ayan, go forward.
Am I audible again?
Yes,
Yes,
I
yes, you are.
How do you handle every situation while being a CA?
Mm.
see. The thing is that, morning, let's not, glamorize CA or, leadership role. Okay. Normal thing, if you have to get up in the morning, you will get up. You have to brush your teeth, so you will brush. You have to go and take bath, you will do it. You will go and, do your work, come back home. If your mom calls, you will answer it. If your child calls, you'll answer it. So these are all normal things in the world. So let's take career also as a normal part of your life. Don't over glamorize it or take it as a pressure that, okay, I have these many to dos. When you take this entire situation as a normal thing, you will start enjoying it. So that's how I do it. Okay. I enjoy every minute of my life, be it my typical corporate to dos or my kids, whatever to dos. So it is like you have to enjoy it. So that is how I'm able to balance it. If I would not have enjoyed this, no, then it would have been a different situation. I'm enjoying every bit of it. There are challenges, there are shortcomings, there are a lot of things, there are guilts. I'm a human after all. But the point is, you have to enjoy. So normalize your career, you will actually enjoy it. Don't take it as a burden.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So Darsh has a question here.
Yeah.
Darsh, by any chance, are you planning to be a CA?
Yes, ma'am.
So then you
That's
can ask the
why.
question. The
Yes.
second one.
Yeah. Ma'am, my question is, what career guidance can you give a youngster who wants to become a CA?
Perfect.
See, one is that I would say be focused. Okay. Don't listen to any negative thoughts or negative feelings that come up, because there will be many people who will say that, okay, it is tough. So it is not tough if you focus. Second thing is understand that there is a technology which is disrupting each and every, career, each and
Mm.
every stream of career. So you will have to go hand in hand with CA as a career as well as technology as a part of it. And third thing is just walk the path. Okay. You just focus and walk the path. Be very, take whatever efforts you have to take. Be very categorically, plan your day whenever the exams come up, but just walk the path. That is what I would like to give you. Otherwise, CA as a career is one of the best career, because right now it is one of the top recognized, degrees in India, also across the globe. And also CA will give you multiple opportunities. It is not just the audit or the tax, the typical things that we, come across. There are many other facets to CA, which eventually the way you will start, your journey, you will understand. So just focus, be focused. Don't get distracted by any negative thoughts, and then just, put on efforts, and you will of course sail through it. So that is my piece of advice. Anything specific that you want to know from a field perspective, of course I'll be happy to help you.
No, ma'am, I'm not yet decided, but I've just decided to become a CA. That's why.
That's good. No, you just have to decide, that's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Darsh will become our money man.
Of course.
That also reminds me that recently there have been some changes. Like earlier, the passing percentage of chartered accountancy was hardly 0.2%, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And now I think they've made it around 19%.
not 90%, it will be
19, 19.
19. It has increased. It has
Yeah.
increased considerably. See, the way to be frank, the way it works on the demand supply situation always. So
Hmm.
every year it will always, they will assess, okay, this is the demand in the industry. And that is
Hmm.
how the papers come up. Sometimes they will be very strict with the paper. They will be very strict in the check-in depending on the demand supply situation. The
Hmm.
percentage will vary, but of course the situation is much better than what it was when I cleared C.
Okay, great. So we also have a wonderful person. She's none other than Usha, who is discovering herself at the age of 52,
Wow.
and she is training to be a life coach. So welcome, Usha. You're muted.
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Yeah, and she herself
Uh,
has her children who's done the CA, and she knows the endurance that they had to have, to continue. And they are well
yes,
settled, and now she's free of her responsibilities.
yes.
Okay, next, can I ask Dia to start with her questioning?
A very good evening, ma'am, to
Hi, dear.
join. Hello. So my first question is, could you just enlighten us on tax technology?
Tax technology. Okay, yeah, sure. So, see, taxation you might be aware of, right? There is income tax, there is GST. You might have heard of all these words. So, that is basically the taxation which the government, imposes on various types of incomes or whatever you spend, Technology is combining the tax computations into a tool. So my role specific was to create the tax technology tools. So if the tool or the automation is not in place, what you will do, you will take a calculator, you will, add less, all those things. So what we do is we create the solution. So we create a tool wherein, you can just feed in the data and the results are given. So that is tax technology. It is using automation in the field of taxation. Also AI in it.
And there's a last question. Can tax technology be used in daily life other than corporates?
Not really. How do you want to use it in daily life? What is your thought?
I have no
Maybe
thought.
she wants to know, like, because the tax technology, it is related to softwares that you use, right?
Yeah,
For the
softwares
computation.
for the computation of taxation. So basically, it will not be a part of your daily life, but if your profession is somewhere where
Hmm.
you have involvement of computing tax, then of course it will become a part of your daily life.
Okay.
Thank you
So
so
we had, yeah. So we had a question from Bruce. He is having his classes, so I think he had to leave. So he had a question like, what inspired you to transit from a career in tax and finance to launching a brand focused on Indian handlooms and handicrafts? So tell us something more about it as well.
So my passion has always been Indian handlooms and handicrafts. I love it. I love all the different types of art forms, and I'm having a quite about bit about knowledge also. So every state, it's very interesting. Every state in India, every city in India has its own fabrics, has its own art, has its own art form.
Yes.
Okay. And the thing is that what I feel is that somewhere it is dying right now. So if I ask any of you whether you know what is how the bandhani, you might see your mom's wearing bandhani saris, but do you know how it is made, how it is created? So we have never gone to the roots and understood it. So this was a dying dream, so I wanted to open my own
Fine.
store.
I think we found
Yeah, yeah,
one
ma'am.
sec, one sec.
Yep.
There was a lag. So please repeat your question.
Yeah, can I say that?
Yes, yes.
So we're saying that somewhere, this handloom and Indian handloom and handicraft industry, I feel, is dying, and the next generation should be able
Hmm.
to understand how our Indian roots are. And that was the purpose, and that was the focus, and that was my dream since I was, I think, 20 or 22-year old. Okay. But of
Acha.
course, you have your corporate life, you have your social life. So I never could get a time. Now, when I'm very well settled, I just thought of, starting something, going back to my dream. And that's how I started and launched this brand called Ardhavi. And we are going quite good in that. The focus is, imparting the knowledge of Indian handloom and Indian handicrafts to globally, also to the next generation. So
Correct.
we go and buy denims like this, okay? Or we go and, maybe, we'll wear some Western dress like this, but we will hesitate to wear a sari. And I get, answers from most of the girls ki, मुझे साड़ी नहीं पहनने आती. That is how they come and tell me. आप पूरा एक दिन अगर आपको एक वेस्टर्न ड्रेस मिल जाए विच इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू वेयर यू विल ट्राई एवरी एफर्ट टू वेयर इट but you will not learn wearing a sari, so that's not right, no? So somewhere we have to go back to our roots. The foreigners are going back to our roots and trying to understand how Indian culture is all about, so why not us? So that is why I started this brand, but it is
But
my
wearing,
20-year-old dream.
but wearing, Western dress is much easier than the sari. I mean, okay, plain sari we can wear, but I have never figured out how to wear a nawari. Though I love it a lot, and I have, loved putting the nut and all
Not
those things. Yes,
so, ma'am, I think you can just spend a day or 2 days of your life learning it, no?
I will
Out
do
of
it.
that's how. So, so that
And
is
if
the
you go
reason I
to see,
started this.
and if you go to see na, in our culture, Indian culture, there is so much of shringar, dressing up. So many things, little things are there. Every festival, it is very different. There's a lot of elaborateness in everything that we do, and each of them have their own significance.
Yes.
So whether it is the kalash with the, the green leaves of mango, or whether it is the toran from Gujarat, or as you said, the bandhani saris. So you were asking a question. Let's just check if they know how a bandhani sari is made. Does anybody know how a bandhani sari is made? Usha, I know that you know. So you are not allowed to answer. Any idea, Dia? So I think you can go ahead and explain.
So, the way they do it is they take, rai dana. So they will actually put that there are different shapes and sizes of rai dana. They'll put it, they'll tie a knot, okay? Then they'll dip it in a dye, then they will, it takes almost say 3 to 4 weeks to make this one sari, minimum three
Yeah,
to four weeks,
yeah,
okay?
yeah,
It's a lot of effort and lot of work, and it also depends on the design. So if it is a very small design, it will take much more time as compared to, if you have a big danas if you use. So there are a lot of things which they do, and our artisans, they don't get paid well, okay? They are sitting in
yeah.
remote places, trying to maintain this art form, which I think we also should be responsible enough to get it back to the world.
Yeah, but now here, like your teacher, I am going to correct you. And I think I am correct. Still, I have 10% doubt. Usha, I think, is from Rajasthan, so she definitely knows the right way. I don't think it is right. It's
No, no,
methi
they
dana.
use Raidan also. They use both.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
So it
lovely.
depends.
That's
In the Kutch, I have seen
uh,
mostly they use Raidana. In Rajasthan, they will use. So it depends. It is basically using a ball kind of a thing so that you tie it up and the color doesn't come on that ball. That is the thing.
correct, correct. But it is very interesting
Very
to note.
interesting. So, like
But
that, if you go to every region, you will find something new which is coming up. In Maharashtra,
correct.
also, if you see, every region has its own. We are really blessed to be in India. Every region has their own spices, different food types, our
Yeah,
different dressing style, languages.
correct,
So
correct.
that is something it is of great interest for me.
So, any of the students, like if you are coming to Geo Convention Center in the first ground floor itself, you will find the weavers who sit there,
Hmm.
and it is about the Paithani saris or the
Actually,
Coimbatore saris. So, next time, please remind me. I will take you there. So, when I look at that, and I went and asked the other day, they said around 25,000 for a sari, 50,000 for a sari, 3.5 lakhs for a sari. And people might think, why 3.5 lakhs for a sari? So I think Deepti knows the reason why it is so much.
It takes almost 6 months to weave a paitani.
Yeah.
One paitani takes 6 months. Okay. And
Correct.
it is such a pure thing that, you can pass it on to generations, and
Mm.
nothing will happen to it. So that is the beauty of handloom. Plus, it's a breathable fabric. You wear a synthetic, that is not a breathable fabric. Any kind of handloom is a breathable fabric. So it is good for
Correct.
your skin. So there are a
True.
lot of benefits of wearing handloom. And not necessary you have to go for a 3.5 lakh sari. You'll get a normal sari also, which will range in say 5 to 7 or 8,000. Okay. Buy one sari. But you know what? That is very important.
So you're really inspiring me to buy one sari.
Please
I'm
go and buy, ma'am.
and I will do it from Ardhavi.
Anytime. Then you don't have to buy.
No, no. Every time I cannot take gifts from you. So she's such a lovely soul. So whenever I go to Ahmedabad, she stays at Ahmedabad. So whenever I go to Ahmedabad, I stay at her house, and she's such a lovely soul. She makes me, gives me a royal treatment, and it's real fun. Like, I mean, that is a place where I go to when I want to be pampered.
Anytime, ma'am.
And I'm sure all of them, I mean, my students, Dia and all, she's smiling, thinking that ma'am also wants to be pampered. Yes, I also want to be pampered. So we have lovely time out there, trying new things and enjoying. And I really feel myself to be very blessed, Dipti, to have you in my life and your son, Arif, for all the wonderful things that we shared
So
together.
much.
And let's just continue it. And it's really great. I think our relationship is an example to all the people out there about how beautiful a teacher child connection can be.
Yeah, of course.
So I want
Yes.
to ask the audience, like, any of you have any special teacher in your life, and we would like to hear about her. Anybody in the group? Because these are all Gen Zs. I don't know if they have these kind of connections with their teachers. Nobody? शुभ दर्श कीर्ति कोई टीचर के साथ ऐसा रिलेशनशिप नहीं है
सर बोला ना था आपके साथ ही है अभी तक प्रैंक हुआ तो प्रैंक बोलो तो मैं
Yeah, thank you Kriti, thank you Kriti. So it's really great, and I think I see this somewhere fading out, because now the relationship between children and teachers are not that strong as we had during our times. I'm seeing this change happening, but I still feel there are really good teachers now also, and there are really good students now also. But the percentage is reducing. So I think we need to revive that, and it is my dream to go across schools and colleges, to rebuild, to help uh, children and teachers understand that a bond that is so strong can really be a pillar of strength for you at different times of your life.
True.
It is not necessary that every time, your family members can understand you. So sometimes when there is a neutral person, like, you get the honest opinions. So if you find somebody with whom you feel safe and you feel relatable, then you should definitely continue the relationship. And to continue the relationship, it doesn't mean that you have to call up every day and speak to them, but once in a while, you can do that. Okay, so we have a young architect in the room who's just completed his graduation, become an architect. Let's see what he has to ask Deepti. Yes, Ashwin.
Hi, Deepti.
Hi.
I just had a few questions, not actually a few, only one. Somewhere down the line, after I have graduated right now, so somewhere down the line, I'm going to start my own entrepreneurial campaign. I just wanted to ask you that when you started it yourself, what were the feelings? I mean, were you afraid, or you had some backing, or you could have done it? What fueled you to make the journey?
See, one is I was passionate about it. Okay. So, that has still kept me going, because there are a lot of challenges that come, To start something is the easiest thing, but to consistently maintain it is the most difficult part. So one is the passion, and I'm very passionate about what I do. Sometimes I take breaks. Okay, so I, in the entrepreneurial journey, since this is just the 10th month, okay, there have been breaks. एक महीना कुछ भी नहीं किया, कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा है. Okay, nothing is happening. There is social media वाले को बिठा के रखा है. Nothing is happening. Okay, it's okay. My focus is I want to be consistent, and then I want to grow. So that is something. This is the most important part I feel whenever you start any entrepreneurial journey is you cannot, your passion should be always there. You sleep with your passion, you eat with your passion, you live with your passion. That is the way you will be, able to make this journey sail through. And you should never be disappointed. You will have a lot of disappointments, but just ignore and just walk the path. But yes, of course, passion is something. So if you're passionate to do something, maybe not in the first year, maybe in the second year, maybe in the third year, but it will happen.
So very beautifully, Deepti has said this, that obstacles are those that you see when your eyes are off the goal. So extreme focus, dedication, and passion is her mantra for entrepreneurial success, and I do believe in it too. So there are times when you really will feel, as she said, that kuch nahi ho raha hai, kuch nahi ho raha hai. But then that is the time when you have to believe in yourself, because that time maybe people will not believe in you, but you should never lose your hope in yourself. So I'm sure that Ashwet is definitely going to take these teachings forward and move and become a wonderful entrepreneur. And maybe after he becomes an entrepreneur, we will be changing places and we will be interviewing him instead of he interviewing you.
I hope for that too one day. Yes, ma'am.
Maybe you will be designing our new offices.
Oh, definitely. Why not?
Superb, superb. Yes, we have a young girl who's done something very different. Her name is Suchi Gupta. And yes, Suchi, over to you. You can first tell who you are, what you do, and start with your questions.
So, hello, my name is Shuchi Gupta. I have done BPharm MBA. I wanted to ask, what kind of Indian handlooms do you deal with?
I have more than 150 artisans with me, every state I deal in, but the more focus is right now is Gujarat and Maharashtra. So it is more of bandhanis and paithanis, also Kashmir. So the pashmina shawls. So all those things are there. And we have created a new concept which is called Sumail. Basically, it is a blending of different handlooms. So you will either
Oh,
get only bandhani or only paithani, but I can
correct.
create a paithani in with along with bandhani. So that is a very new concept, newly introduced in India, and it is sailing through. So basically, if I blend two, three handlooms
Mm,
together, I can
mm.
speak about those three fabrics in one go, and I can educate the world in a much better way. So that's how we started this. So that is the USP of my brand called Ardhavi.
Okay, so is your brand only, dealing with handlooms, or do you have
No,
other kinds of
handicrafts
artifacts,
also and handlooms, both.
paintings?
Paintings also.
Oh, so
Paintings.
I think I should introduce you to one of my cousins who does amazing paintings, like the Madhubani painting.
Yeah,
And
so Madhubani and all those aspects are there with me. Yes, please.
yeah, she stays in Ahmedabad only.
Oh, is it? Oh, I think
Yes,
last
yes.
time you spoke to me
Yeah,
about
I
that.
spoke to
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah. Right. I will get in
She's
touch.
there. And I also have another cousin of my husband's who's from Bhavnagar, and she does amazing rangolis, amazing paintings, and the thread work, khata work it is called.
Katha work.
Yes,
Yeah.
she
Okay.
does that and many other forms of embroidery, and she's too
Amazing.
good.
Amazing. I will
She's
get in
too
touch
good.
with you, ma'am, for this.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Yes, Suchi. Any other question?
Also, one more thing, what inspired you to learn about handlooms, handicrafts?
I like art. Okay, I used to paint once upon a time. And then while I was doing this painting, I started first understanding different forms of, the art that is available in India. And that's how, then the liking grew. And then I started understanding, oh, there is a handloom industry where people, make fabric through hand, and they do embroideries, and they do a lot of work through hand. So that's how it evolved eventually. But it
Hmm,
started with my liking for, doing paintings.
correct.
So, one more question.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, please.
So, what is your favorite art form, if I might ask?
I like Warli a lot
Warli paint.
because it's like a very small designs, and the way they, present it, and it also presents the story of a tribal world, so I love that.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it was the first kind of art form, right from the beginning. Like, I mean, if you go to see, the art form began from there, where they plastered the huts
Yeah,
of the houses. And
so that was a way how the tribals used to decorate their homes.
ah,
So it is a very beautiful art form, and they used to decorate by doing that painting, because they used don't so they used to first put the cow dung, then they used to, plaster it, and then paint with
so there
limited
is that,
white colors.
correct. And that is one sec, that red color coating that is done. What is that called? I
So, no, that coating is geru.
Geru,
Yeah.
correct,
So
correct,
they use
correct.
the geru because that is what is available in Maharashtra. If you see the sand of Maharashtra, it is red
It's
color,
red.
especially the coastal belt. And the
Correct.
tribals of coastal belt started this wadi.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm sure Bruce is written here. So, Bruce, do you want to ask any question?
Yes.
Bruce Almighty.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, Bruce.
He's not being able to unmute, I think.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm feeling a little down, so I
No
cannot
problem.
go
No
ahead.
problem. You can just listen. And Shubh, have you heard about all the whatever we discussed here? Have you ever heard about it before?
Mm, yes, ma'am.
What you have heard about?
Like all the traditional crafts, the people who have become CA, like they wanted to do something else, but at
No,
last
no,
they
I'm
became
talking about
CA.
the crafts and arts of India.
Crafts, and I have heard about Madhubani art. It's like full of designs.
Spots, not dots.
Hmm.
Specifically, dots are the prime importance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And which place do you hail from?
What?
Which place do you come from?
I come from Jodhpur, Rajasthan.
Oh,
Rajasthan. So Rajasthan में कौन सा art है? Kalamkari.
Rajasthan is, no. So that's, of course, Kalamkari is there. Then you have this hand block printing.
Block printing.
Block
Yes.
printing is from Rajasthan, and Tanjore is from Rajasthan. Tanjore paintings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So this was really amazing to know about your mission that you started. But in the process of incorporating this company or this venture, you must have required the support of people. So who were your pillars, which helped you to pursue your dream?
So I have been supported by my friends. So we are a group of, four people, four friends who started this. I just
Wow.
happened to speak out my heart to my friends that I want to do this, and we all teamed up. So my support system has always been my friends and my parents and my son, uh,
Okay.
who is not actually doing anything in the business, but he supports me very silently. He's always present, always there as a backbone. So yeah, so friends majorly are my support system.
So, see, it is not easy to gel with people, because we all think little differently, though we may have some common trait, but still there could be differences. So, how do you manage the differences, not only here with respect to your venture, but also with respect to the kind of position that you have had at the MNC, where there are different people with different mindsets. So, you might have come across some difficult people, or must have had tough times dealing with differences.
Yes. So I think the first thing that I do always is stepping in the shoes of the other person, because everybody who will approach you when you are sitting at a particular position, they have certain level of expectations from you. So they
Mm.
come to you with problems, but they have certain expectations which are already there sitting in their mind. So it is very important to first step in their shoes, understand what they're expecting out of you, and then handling the situation. So I have been always doing that. Not necessarily stepping in the other person's shoes means agreeing to what he's saying, but at least understanding the viewpoint. So I have always been doing that, and I am quite successful in that, because that helps to build a bond with the people, and they feel that they are at least heard. There's somebody
Correct.
who can listen to you in the
Yeah.
organization. That is very important.
You have given such a beautiful thing, and I really hope that all leaders who are listening to this podcast will take this one takeaway from you, to make the person feel heard.
Yeah.
It is so important. It is so very important, because I believe that people don't leave organizations, they leave people.
Exactly.
So having a leader who's empathetic, who's giving somebody the space to hear them out is very, very important, especially in today's times. I have known of situations where, the people have felt undervalued, and they have felt as if they are not considered. And there is nobody to convey that. It is not that the leader is not ready to do it, but it just skips their mind to have a patient hearing to somebody's grievances. Or
Right.
maybe he or she is too busy to do that. So I really feel there needs to be someone who takes the onus in an organization to ensure that the person who's facing any difficulty, especially the HR, for example, should convey the grievances of the people, and the people should feel safe enough to share it with the HR.
Right. So that is most important, ma'am, that if you're not feeling safe enough to express,
Hmm.
then it's a problem. So that is the first thing that is required. That comfort zone is very important.
So, have you ever in your organization, while dealing at different levels, come across any difficult situation? And maybe you thought at the time when the situation happened that it is not possible to solve it, but eventually you solved it.
Yeah, so in my entire career, there was one person who was elderly to me, at least 15 years elderly to me. Okay. And apparently I became his senior.
Hmm.
So that was a big challenge. Okay. So he had that attitude that, I have grown in this organization. So I know much more than what
Ve-
you know. तुम कल के आए हो, तुमको क्या ही पता है. So it was very difficult for me to, actually delegate anything to him.
Hmm.
He was very rigid, very
Hmm.
rigid. Okay. And he used to directly jump. He will skip you and he will directly go to the top because he had that bandwidth. So
Leverage.
that was a very difficult scenario. And eventually, what I did was I called him once and I spoke to him heart to heart. And I told him that I am not a competition to me. You, in fact, I will learn a lot from you. But the thing is that we have to work as a team. So this cannot happen. Don't think that I'm going to overpower you. I have not come here to overpower you. I've come here so that we team up and we built up something nice. And that day onwards, the things changed. So
Wow.
initial 1 month, yes, I was just trying to gauge what's happening. I was not understanding, but then see, heart to heart conversation always help is what I have observed. So that is the point, and then the ice breaking happened, and then things moved very well.
Wonderful. So here you are, like, at a leadership position, handling a very critical situation. And just because of your open, honest conversation with him, you were able to salvage the relationship.
Right.
Amazing. So I think this is one another takeaway for people in leadership positions, that you need not necessarily harbor a grudge against somebody because you have differences with them, but come out into the open, speak out, share, and resolve the issues. Amazing. Amazing. So we have our dear Usha here. And let's see what she has to say. Yes, Usha.
I just want to ask nothing serious, but working with MNC as being a mother of CA, and she has worked with multiple MNCs with the audit and FDD in etc. stream. So it was very difficult at initial time, articleship, and after that to manage work. Being a dedicated person, it was work, health, and family. So health totally spoiled at that time because of the work pressure was very much and load was very high. But afterwards, she managed and she changed and learned. So how did you manage that thing?
So it's the same, every CA has the same
Every
journey.
CA
Okay,
has.
so when we are freshers, we have to work 18 hours, 20 hours,
Yes, yes.
sometimes, continuously without sleeping. So that is a given fact, which we have to mentally be prepared. But from 1997, when I was in school, I started meditation with Sahaj Yoga. So since
Mm.
that day till this day, I have been following it religiously because everything, be your physical element, the starting is always in the mind. If you're not mentally relaxed or peaceful, it will eventually drill down to your health. So my mantra is that only, and that is what has kept me going. And yes, of course, I'm focused, and I don't take things in my head much. By God's grace, I have a habit of ignoring few things, and so initially, of course, it was not like that, but now I have come to a situation where my peace is the utmost important thing for me, and my energy is utmost important. So whatever disturbs it, I will just straight away shun it away. I'll not keep it in my head, and I'm very strict with that. So if you are strict with preserving your energies and preserving your peace, I think you will sail through.
And of
Thank
course,
you.
Yoga also helped a lot.
A lot,
By the
of
way,
course. That is the backbone of my journey. It has always been the backbone of my journey.
and even Usha is practicing yoga day in and day out. And I remember the time when we had gone for a beach session where we do the self acceptance session. So if you are here in Mumbai, Deepti, or if I come there, we can go to the beach and do this session that we do, which on self acceptance.
Definitely
So
will do.
I just let people be, and I saw Usha. I mean, she suddenly went to the sand and she was doing that. What is that called? That asan? What is
Chak
it called? Huh?
Chakrasan. Chakrasan.
Chakrasan. And she's like on all fours, and I'm just wondering, ये वही lady है क्या? So, what are the benefits of that, Usha?
uh, it is overall health benefit
Flexibility, I think.
for
Uh-huh.
core and flexibility, back, everything.
Wonderful, wonderful. So it's really great to have had all of you here. It's amazing to know about Deepti's journey. I have a question for you, Deepti, that, as a woman, I remember a time when I was learning to cycle, and we used to stay at Vasai. And, there was a Gurudwara, sorry, at Borivali when I was staying, not at Vasai. I was staying in Vasai when I was very, very small. But after that, we came to Borivali. And in Borivali, we used to have those cycles, which is for half an hour, 50 paisa.
Hmm.
Remember?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I used to take that, and okay, building में तो सब लोग चला लेते हैं, पर बाहर रोड पे लेके जाना थोड़ा डरावना था. तो मैंने एक दिन हिम्मत की और मैंने बोला चलो मैं जाती हूँ. And I came out, and as I was riding, trying to balance, on one side you had this group of gang, that is the boys who were standing there, and they're just waiting to see me fall. So it was like izzat ka sawal hai, right? So I somehow managed to move across them without falling, and I felt, wow, I have done it. So this thing stayed in my mind, and even during my career progression, I used to be very sensitive with respect to men and whether they would try to block my journey. I don't know why it always used to be there. And but though I did not meet any such objection, but still, I see many women today in various organizations facing this gender inequality, and they have to work double hard as the men would have to go to the next level in the organization. So, what has been your experience?
See, my organization has been kind enough that there is no such thing. But of from policy perspective, it is not there. But what happens generally is, if you see at the leadership level, the female leaders are very less as compared to male. Okay, that
Yes,
ratio has always been, not so good or not even equal. And
yes,
given that, somewhere females are not considered very seriously, although they
mm,
might be equally talented. And that has been there. That is what I have seen, not as an organization, but individually, you can feel the difference. And it is always there. My only the way I handle it is, if you all have seen Elephant, he's never
mm,
bothered about who is, walking with him, who is piercing him, because he has that weight.
mm.
Walk like that, have confidence, stand firmly with conviction, and show your talent. That's it. And you will be recognized. Maybe not, there will be, of course, there will be challenges. There will be people who will not like it because you are a competition and you're a threat to them. But yes, you have to walk the way elephant walks. And that is what I have been doing it. I never get affected by whoever says whatever says. I have to make a point, I'll make a point. Maybe they will not accept it, but at least I have that satisfaction that I made my point.
But it takes courage to do that.
Courage is
Not
the most
everybody can
important.
say law.
But yeah, the courage is the most important. You can't survive without courage, ma'am. If you are a lady, if you are having a career path that you have to cross, you need courage. You need courage to have, to kill all those social norms, or the stereotype norms where they try to fit you. Then you have
Correct.
a lot of other bondages at home, at office. You need courage to break it and to stand for yourself. So that is required.
So, not only courage, I also feel you need to have the discernment to know when, how to act.
Yeah. You
Because every time you can't, put your ideas across. Sometimes you have to take a step back. Sometimes you have to stand up and speak for yourself. And sometimes you have to show that confidence is not a loud shout. It can also be a quiet whisper.
see, most of the time, when somebody is trying to show off and put you down, first thing is you should allow them to do it. Okay? Let him play his cards.
Acceptance.
Acceptance. Karo,
Acceptance.
tumko jo karna hai karo. But by the end of it, you know what is the right thing. Then the
Correct.
moment you speak it up, once he has done his part, and people know that he has not done it in the right way, and then you speak it up, you will be valued more. So that is what I have been doing it. I never object anyone from doing anything. Karo jo karna hai karo, but I will play my part. That's how it is.
Yeah, so I think you are very focused into what you want from life and you put it very authentically. That's what I like about you. You're very authentic with whatever you do. And, there is this concept called as congruent leader. So, congruent leader is somebody who's just the way that he seems to be. So, the real image and the ideal image are both merged.
Hmm.
And that's when congruence come. And you can you can make out a congruent leader when you see one. Like when I see you, I know what you say. There is nothing behind it or nothing in front of it. It is what it is.
Yeah, and that also helps me to maintain my peace.
Correct.
I don't have
Correct.
to
Correct.
bother about those artificial images that people built up.
Correct. Very true. Very true. So I'm sure the students have got a lot of value from this session. And you might be reminded about when we talked about the real image and the ideal image, right? So when we're talking about the self-esteem being higher, it's the real image getting congruent to the ideal image. And that's when you become your authentic self. That's when you become an authentic leader. Uh, to move forward, I was just looking at the statistics, and it's like women hold approximately 30.6% of leadership positions globally, as in 2024. And this gap is widening at higher levels of seniority. For instance, only about 8% of CEOs in Indian organizations are women. Only 8%. So I'm sure. And whereas in US, it is the percentage is around 19%. 19% of the board seats in the Fortune 500 companies and 5.8% of the CEO positions. So, this disparity is evident across various sectors, with industries like technology and finance having moderate representation, while others like construction and manufacturing having lower percentages of women in leadership. So, I'm sure, you being in the finance and technology background, you have come up and you have inspired a number of women to climb the corporate ladder, of course, handling your family, your son, and the work which is very varied, where you have to travel a lot, right? So has somebody come up to you and told, Dipti madam, मुझे आपके जैसा बनना है?
Yeah, people say that. So there are many who say that. But ठीक है, I mean, I don't know how far I can touch their hearts, but it is all about having a very good, warmth relationship. I value relationship more than all these things. Today they may like me, tomorrow they may not, depending on the situation.
Yeah,
But
so
yes,
dear,
that's happened.
yes. So dear participants, I always used to say that if you work on yourself, you're not only working for yourself, but you're also working to inspire the people around you. अगर आप खुद के ऊपर काम करोगे, आप खुद को ऊंचाइयों पे ले जाओगे, तो आप दूसरों के लिए भी एक आइडल बन जाते हो, आप दूसरों के लिए भी एक राह बनाते हो. So we have a young lady who's a little confused now, but she's getting clearer and clearer as the sessions go by. She's none other than Kriti Sanganeria. So, Kriti, you can ask your question, and that will be the last one for today.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Kriti.
My question is, from your experience, what are some exciting things happening right now in tech?
Exciting things in tax technology. AI, the most exciting thing. It is amazing to see, how a machine, after coding, can do certain jobs which ideally we never dreamt of. So till last year, there are certain activities which I used to do, and I used to feel very proud about it. I'm interpreting a law. Right now, I just have to pose a question and I get an answer from, any
Yeah,
AI driven tool. So these are exciting times for us, of course, and we have to match it up with our skill set. We also have to upskill ourselves with that. So yeah, so that is the most important part of tax technology right now across the globe.
So, Kriti's father is also a chartered accountant,
No,
and her
no, the LLB,
Acha, he's an
advocate.
LLB. So, incidentally, Dipti also has done law. So, Dipti, why did you get into law after doing CA?
I just wanted one additional degree. That's it.
So, do you practice it?
No, no. But
No.
yes, of course, I have that knack of interpreting law,
Hmm.
crafting skills, and all those things. So it helped me in my
In
career.
your
Yeah,
career.
yeah,
Oh.
in my career, yes.
So, that's an additional thing that you learned.
Additional thing that I learned. So it helps me in, interpreting law sections,
Hmm.
act, basically the Bare Act. So that has helped me a lot.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. So, students, whatever you learn, it will always come handy. Whether it may be not relevant now, but later on, you will find that whatever skills are given to you, you are drawn to that, because there is some need for it. किधर ना किधर उसकी जरूरत पड़ेगी, इसीलिए it is being thrown to you. So, what I've seen in life is that even before a problem comes, a solution has always already been devised for you. सो जो भी सीखने को मिलेगा, जितना सीखने को मिलेगा, आप सीखिए. So, Kriti, you have one more question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How has the shift to digital compliance in India, like GST or invoicing, pushed companies to adopt tech faster?
See, there is a push from the government itself. So GST, if you see, there's a lot of technology development or advancement which is from the government side. So that pushes there. So you are forced to, have tools in place so that you can match up to the expectations of the government. With the volume of data that company has, it is practically impossible to handle it without a technology solution. So that is there, and that's the reason, you have to match up to the expectation. Now, government is having your data points through technology, and they are gathering it very granularly. It is like you, every aspect of your life is now monitored by government. So to handle and tackle those things, you need a technology in place. It's not possible, for humanly impossible to handle that data points.
Thank you.
Super, super, super. Thank you, Kriti, for the wonderful questions. And each and every one of you. May I now ask Usha or anybody in the group, Suchi, what are the things that you take away from today's session? Suchi, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I take away to be focused and to always have the eyes on the goal.
Oh, wonderful. Awesome. Yeah. Dia?
So what I take away from the session is I have to be more focused in life and be fearless, not to listen. And I mean to listen, but to just ignore the problems and find out a solution in a peaceful manner.
Yeah. Not by getting upset with the problems that come your way. Wonderful. What about you, Usha?
Uh, walk like an elephant.
So I am a baby elephant still. So I feel great. So you said walk like an elephant. Every day I am walking like an elephant. Only thing I don't have tusks. Yes, yes,
Means
Ayan. What
ignore
is
the
your takeaway?
ignore the people. Means
Ignore the
ignore the,
people, right?
yeah.
ओके वंडरफुल. लोग क्या कहेंगे सबसे बड़ा रोग है. तो उसको लोगों को कहने दो, उनको अपना काम करने दो. Yes, Ayan, what is your takeaway?
And my takeaway is don't give a damn about others.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes, Shubh, what is yours?
Ma'am, my takeaway would be that if you want to pursue anything that you shouldn't listen, then you shouldn't listen to anyone and do whatever you want.
Yeah, have the courage to work on what you want.
Yeah.
Yes, Bruce, what's your takeaway?
Yes, ma'am. My takeaway will be that if time is wasted, our life will be delayed. So invest our time in future and plan better.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And Dipti is a very good planner. I mean, the detailing that she does, I'm always amazed by it. Thank you, Dipti, for being who you are. Yes, Ashwet, what is your takeaway?
Honestly, my takeaway is to keep following your passion. Eventually, it will
Wonderful.
lead to something very good.
Yes, 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 yes. And don't take so much time as I took to come into my passion.
No, 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 no. Yes, ma'am.
So, with this note, I would like to say a great, 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 great thank you to Deepti, my student and dear friend now, for having come to Management Me School of Confidence and enlighten not only the participant but also the viewers who are here at Secrets of Living a Full Life every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. We are blessed to have you watching us, and I hope this has added value to you. So please comment, share, subscribe, like, and spread it as much as possible because I win when you win. Stay